I'm gonna die. Like, this is my death. I can see it coming. And so what does Maddie do? Maddie goes to the kitchen and grabs a knife. Whew. Get worked up about this. Freaking me out again. Hey my beautiful YouTube friends, it's Maddie and we're back again with another story time. Because, you know, I was thinking about it and I have a lot better stories to tell you guys that relate to my previous story time, which I'll link up here. But yeah, lot better stories to tell you guys. Much more action-packed and dramatic, and I don't know why I didn't think of them earlier, so that's what I'm bringing you today. Before I get started, I just want to thank you guys so much. I'm almost at 500 subscribers and my mind is blown. I don't know how that happened so fast, but I love you guys. I know a lot of people do a 500 subscriber Q&A video, and so I would love to hear your guys' questions, so make sure to comment those down below, and yeah, I'll answer them and I'll give you a shout out, so you're welcome. Alrighty. Promise I'm not shooting you actually, but it's whatever. Without further ado, let's get into the story time, which is wild and crazy and whatever. But yeah, my first one has to do with like an injury. So let's preface this by saying this was a fantastic day to start off with, which is always a good thing, you know. I was going on a walk with my boyfriend. We were in nature, the great outdoors. We were taking cute pictures. We were hiking. We had a picnic all up in my backpack. Like, times were good. We got about 1/7 of a mile into the hike, and then we decided to set up our Enos because on one side of us you could see the beautiful lake, and the other side of us you could see the trees, and it was just gorgeous. So we set up camp. I'm a very tall person. I'm about 5'10", and so I was putting the hammock up above my head so when it swooped down with all of our fatness. Oh, no, I'm just joking. But yeah, when our body weight like weighed it down, it would probably be about my height, maybe a little bit lower. And so I had a double Eno. So that thing holds 400 pounds, or it's supposed to. I'm not 400 pounds. Scott is not 400 pounds. Together we weigh around 360, so still 40 pounds away. But yeah, we both get into this Eno. My head's on one end, his head is on the other. We're just chilling. I think Scott was almost asleep, and life was good. Till it wasn't. All of a sudden the Eno just ripped in half, like, shoop, right down the middle. And we just go right onto the woods floor, which actually doesn't sound that bad. Like, to be honest, woods are like all leafy and mossy, but no. I landed directly on an uprooted tree root, right on my tailbone, like, boop, right there, right? You see this? This is the tree root. This is my back. This is my tailbone. Ugh. Scott was fine, which I was very grateful for because I don't know how I could lug a 6'3" buff dude out of the woods by myself. But yeah, I thought I was paralyzed. I had sunglasses on, thank God, but like tears were streaming down my face. Scott was like about to call it EMT. I could not. I don't think I moved for like a solid 10 minutes. Like, I just stayed in that position. I was super scared. I was trying not to show it, and eventually I did. It took me like 30 minutes to get up, and it took us, okay, in retrospect guys, it took us probably 10 minutes to get to the spot we had hiked to and set up camp. It took us an hour and 20 minutes to get back to our cars. Scott was like holding me up, and I was like hobbling, like one foot, the other foot, one foot, the other foot. It was just a bad experience. Like, I don't know how Eno just rips. And you know, we emailed them and they sent us 2 free ones, so that was great. But yeah, moral of the story is don't double up on your Enos. Like, don't stack them on top of each other like everybody does on college campuses and stuff, because your friend's gonna fall on you, and then you're gonna fall, and then you're both gonna die. Or like those people who Eno across a lake. Like, it looks like a fantastic idea until your Eno rips and you fall into the lake. I don't even know how my Eno ripped. Like, I've only used it once before, and for like 5 minutes. So it's just a freak accident. I don't know. But yeah, what can you do? I was almost paralyzed. Almost died. No, not really. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how those things work, but I'm not a doctor. Or maybe I am. Anyway, on to story number 2. This one is just creepy because I still don't know like what happened or what caused this. Nobody knows. So paranormal, I don't know. Bad guy, stalker. Long story short, I was dog sitting for this family, and their house, the layout of the top of their house, like the main level, there are 7 entrances to get in. There's 2 in the front, 5 in the back. Lots of doors. And then there's 1 in the basement, but you know, that one's just kind of whatever. And so I was dog sitting at night, and then when I would go into work during the day, another family would come and let the dogs out so the dogs didn't pee everywhere. And then I would come home and we would like swatch places, but we never actually like met in person, you know? So I just knew that there was somebody else coming to the house while I was there. And anyway, I get back from work one day and the front door is unlocked. And at first I thought this was kind of sketchy because I'd been staying there for a week and none of the doors have ever been unlocked. Like, these people have never left the doors unlocked. But I was like, oh, could have been an accident. You never know. Stuff happens, so, you know, it is what it is. And so I go in and I go to let the dogs out, and that door is unlocked. And that's in the back of the house. And so then I was like, you know, like, then I started getting creeped out. And I was just like, calm down, Maddie, you're fine. But then I started checking all the doors, and there's another one unlocked. Like, that's 3 in one day when they have never been unlocked before. I was freaked out. And so I called Scott and I was like, am I being paranoid? Like, what? Like, what's going on? And he goes, yeah, just calm down. It was probably the other people. Like, you're fine. So I was like, okay, yeah, you're right. And I go down into the room they had given me. It was in the basement. Yeah, so I was in that room for about 2 hours. And then the Wi-Fi like turned off suddenly. And so I went back upstairs, and because the router was upstairs, so I was just like, oh, I'll just go see if it shut off for any reason. And so I'm upstairs, messing with the router. There's nothing wrong with the router, by the way. And while I'm doing that, there's like a clang in the basement, like just a boom. And I freak out. I like whip my head around, and the dog whips its head around. It's like 2 rooms away, y'all. And she goes bounding to the stairs, like the basement stairs, and she just stands at that door and she starts growling. And y'all, she is like a very sweet dog. And she is sitting there like, and I'm like, I'm gonna die. Like, this is my death. I can see it coming. And so what does Maddie do? Maddie goes to the kitchen and grabs a knife and then proceeds to go stand in front of the basement door. And I was like standing there whispering, hello? Hello? Who's there? Like, 1, they're not gonna hear me whispering at the top of the stairs. And 2, if there's someone there, they're not gonna answer me like, hey, what's up? I'm in your house. Like, no, that's not gonna happen. And so I stood there for probably like 2 minutes, like, petrified. And then I was like, Maddie, get your wits together. And so I called Scott again, and I'm like, I heard a noise, what do I do? And so then he started like freaking out a little bit, and he's like, call whoever is staying there with you, or like letting the dogs out, and see if it was them, like find out. So I was like, okay. And so I call them, and y'all, I'm not even joking when I say she literally said she knew for a fact that it was not her. Like, she came with her daughter that day, and she said she remembered distinctly showing her daughter how to lock that door because her daughter had not done it right. And so her daughter had attempted to lock the door, and the mom said, no, 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 that's not right. And then she showed her how to do it. And so then I like started panicking, and I called Scott back and I was like, it wasn't her, it wasn't. And right when I'm calling Scott again, the woman texts me and she's like, well, I guess it could have been the fact that she locked it and I thought she didn't lock it, and so then I unlocked it. And I know it doesn't make up for the fact that 2 other doors were unlocked, but in my head I was trying to compensate, and so I was like, oh yeah, you're right, like that's totally what it was. And so I stayed there for like another hour, and then I left to go on a date. I come back, like Scott drops me off that night, it's like 11 p.m. I come inside, the front door's locked, so I was like, oh thank God. 2 more doors were unlocked. And y'all, I'm so anal about doors being locked, especially since this happened. Like, I went and made sure every single door was locked before I left, and it was not. There were two, and they were completely different than the ones that were unlocked before. And so I called Scott and I was like, yo, get your butt back over here, like I'm about to die. I'm gonna die. And so he goes, okay, okay. And then at the same time, I'm calling the people whose house I'm doxing for, and I'm like, hey, sorry it's late, but is there any way that like your dog can unlock deadbolts, because that's been happening a lot lately? They're like, oh no, sorry, that's weird. And I'm like, it's fine, it's fine. And so I'll figure it out. And so Scott comes back over, and y'all, we were like sleuthing it out. Like, I gave him 2 knives, I had 2 knives, we took the dogs and we were like busting open doors, and we searched that whole house, like going in there with knives ablazing, which is not safe at all, and that was so stupid, but like I didn't know what else to do. I didn't want to call the cops and sound dramatic. Like, I think maybe there's somebody in my house that I'm dog sitting for. It was just weird, but the dogs were playing the whole time we were looking, and dogs are very, I don't know, they're intuitional, they're instinctive, I don't know how to describe it, but a dog wouldn't be sitting there messing around and playing if there was something wrong in the house, you know what I'm saying? Like, they would be up and they'd be scratching at doors and they'd be growling and investigating. They wouldn't be messing around with each other, so I wasn't nervous after that. And Scott stayed over so I wouldn't be freaked out. And you know, we like duct taped the knobs shut, like we duct taped the deadbolts so they could not be unlocked any way, shape, or form. And we thought we were so clever, but yeah, we never figured out how those doors were getting unlocked. And yeah, still to this day, I don't know if it was like a person, the paranormal, I don't know, but I'm in my own house now, so I don't have to worry about it. Those are my story times. I hope you guys have enjoyment through my suffering. I don't know. I don't know. I like listening to people's story times that are dramatic, because I'm like, wow, it makes me feel better about my life. Does that make me an awful person? Okay, well, I appreciate you watching anyways. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much. You guys are it. Like, thank you. But yeah, I will talk to you guys next time. Back at you later. Bye. Bye. Okay, I'm done. Okay.